Going live, it's Sunday. It's familiar time, so it's going to be a short video, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. But I had an extremely powerful day yesterday. I healed a family, and I brought them back to the circle of life. Basically, it's amazing how we do these things through time, position, allocated position, locations. You have to understand when you come into all levels of systems, you have to understand everything with house has ancestry and history. Even that has history and history. But it's amazing how you take these things out of the equation. So it's very powerful stuff. I was healing families of four. I was healing the husband and the mother and the connections to the kids and their kids and their kids. So it's amazing how we're coming into a new platform. So this platform is going to be angelic healers, right? It's going to be basically coming up very soon, right? So I'm going to be going all over Mexico and healing Mexico. So it's amazing how we come into these times, because when you get to a certain point level, you can pretty much be anything through form. I can be AI to any commanding center. I can be anything through connection to angelics. I can be anything through wire. I can be anything through computer. It's fantastic when you reach these levels, guys. And that's what I want you guys to do, to understand that you can do anything you want through imagination. Okay, that's the most important thing. But other than that, thank you all subscribers and viewers who have been watching my channel, Force Rising, Grand Rising, as we come into a complete circle. Circle of life, circle of activation, circles of everything, the position. I sent up another TikTok video for everybody to understand what is the body graph through communication. That's the digital frame of shapes and anomalies. Each dimensional time is set in its own code traction. That traction is its division to it. So it's kind of like a chakra system, but it's a clock system, a dimensional time of clock. So you have to understand the 12, 3, 6, and 9 positions, right? That's to truly understand the diamond core positions. Okay, so to make it very well clear, when we're coming into that condition, I was talking about Lemuria and Atlantis. What's Lemuria / Atlantis? Because they're two different planet locations of continent level systems. That's why they fell flat in the water, containment centers. So they're coming back up to surface and they go into the mind telepathy, right? So you have to understand the true understanding how Lemuria, okay, comes into the physical system and how Atlantis comes into the high-rise positions, okay, to the emotional system. And that's the true understanding how you come into the masculinity and the femininity, right? So I think everybody's going to a little bit more what Lemuria is and everything through the connection when it comes into Atlantis. It's important you guys to truly understand this, okay? It's the heart cycle of Lemuria, okay, which is all connections to the femitality, right? It's got to Neve and masculinity system. And then you have Atlantis, which is the center core position to your diamond core. Your diamond core is its position of a crystal. It's the crystal of travel. Okay, so that's why it's Atlantis. Atlantis is its teleportation to its communication, and everything to Lemuria is its connection when it comes into the heart system, right? So these are the things you have to look at when it comes into history of what Lemuria is, okay, and everything through civilization, and everything through Atlantis and its civilization. Again, it has a lot to do with the body graph through its digital. So anything that you see through digital or anything inside its position, when you come into the hieroglyphic, it's all dimensional time of structure, right? You see the symbols, you see the graph symbols. It's the same thing with the alien map location centers. We use those for travel. So you have to understand your whole body is nothing but a graphing system of an operation, which is really powerful. Okay, so believe and say yes. So basically what I did is I sent a TikTok because you wanted to know what it was. So it's important that I can ask any question. Any question, you can basically go to my TikTok Q&A, put it above, and I'll answer your question. Okay, because a lot of people are trying to figure out, what is this? What is that? Where do I go? What happens now, right? So it's all about space and time of who we are. Space inside us is the operation, okay? Space outside us is everything through its atmospheric position of time. So this space is everything. It's the inner and the outer force of you through communication. These are the things we have to understand, right? And the first thing you start off with is your chakra system of communication, okay? So today I like to basically get started with that position. But yesterday was really powerful. I mean, I'm talking that where I went was a castle. It was a big, humongous house. And there was so much history. I mean, you just pick up on these things, especially when you come to, because it's not a reference to light, right? You have to understand everything through his ancestors and history is built, unbuilt, and built, and built. Another thing too you got to bring across is that when you go to healers and you're not sure who you're dealing with, and you want to follow your path, and your path is not existing, and you realize, I want to just be healed. I want peace. I want tranquility. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting clarity. How come I feel bad? Right? So what do? You put pictures on the wall to make you feel better, but it makes it worse because you don't know what you're dealing with when it comes to spiritual time. Everything has spiritual time, right? You have the physical element. And like I said, when you put a picture on the wall, that picture's looking at you. That's dimensional time. Same with when I put my phone here like this and you're looking across, space is coming to you, right? And you're seeing the walkway, right? So it's truly understanding how to communicate with everything in the simulation, right? Because everything is in time dimension of its position to its operation, right? So I just wanted to straighten that out with everybody, but I'm going to be having a very powerful unit across Mexico where it's going to be a holistic clinic or positions of time, healing couples or families, right? So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm opening up other platforms, and like I said, we got that connections to Believe in C's book and everything, that connection where it comes into a movie. Everything happens in divine timing. You're in position of divine timing to see people. And basically you just look at the gratitude of that, look at the appreciation, and you feel really good about it. And you ask yourself, wow, this is fantastic. You don't question anything when it comes to value, how long that person is going to be in your life. You just accept it and move on. People have a tendency of like, okay, well, how long are you going to be here? It's not on a clocking system here. Say, okay, well, it's time for you to go. What do you mean I just got here? Right? It doesn't work that way. They come to you and they go, right? When they're ready. When they know you are ready, that's when they leave. That's when you don't need them anymore. So everybody is in a specific time. And this has to do with the body graph. Okay? The body graph is everything dimension of time when it comes to the clocking of you. That's why we have a watch. It's a teleportation. You guys just think it's a watch of time. It's not. It's everything to you. Life exists on time alone. That's all it is. And we all know it's the here and now. That's all. Nothing exists but the here and now. Right? So there's a lot of people that are getting a lot more confusion. I just healed a light worker yesterday. And basically, she really, connected and say, wow, thank you very much. And I got a paragraph like this, personal, to my emails. Whoa. It's intense knowing that, she's no longer in the radio signal. She's in her, again, operation vibration mind system. So I changed her program setting, reset her position timers and all her location centers. And she was, thankful for that. She realized, I don't resonate with radio signals anymore. Thank you very much. So she's a high division, but she's understanding why. She knows she can't go to anybody else because you have to understand that everybody's in a different time division. And this has to do with your body graphs, body scans. Okay, I've mastered light and always inform a dimensional time through frequency level connections. So I know what a body graph is in all dimension of time through clock. Your body is a clock of time. So if your body is a clock of time, your face is a structure of time. 12, 3, 6, 9. Diamond, cross, over, right? Circle rotation, take it out of its division. Triangle, line signal, operation of its ears, voicing grid patterns, chakra system, teleportation. And there you go. So you have to look at yourself as a digital person through clocking space and time position, because the clocking is everything through time, which is the here and now. Okay, you stay in the here and now, you have a future. Okay, you can't travel back in time because you're destroying your thoughts, or provisions and acting cycles to its connection to its human resonance. All right. So if anybody have questions or anything like that, you can go to my healing, open up your 12 attractions, Zoom consultations starting next week. Let me know. All right, so let's get into connections of 369. I really want to stay in that. But I thought it was good doing all these structures of what this is and what this is, you know, all the alien faces. You know, it's great to see these things. Like, what is this? So it's all about understanding what is this, you know. And I just did it through, you know. The thing is too, when you create something that's already created, you don't have to worry about drawing because it's already made there. It's already in dimensional time through clock, right? Everything is body structure and body scan to its body graph. There's an angel. Okay, so there's no thought process because it's already done. And that's what we have to get into, right? And you come into this, right? So it's very important that when you draw things, you have to look at your life as a drawing. You have to look at your life as a story frame. You have to look at your life as a time of travel. You have to look at your life as a dream, because it is. But the dream is real. And that's why it's so confusing for humanity, because they don't know what life they're in. So if you go through E equals MC square, right? Very simple, very basic. This is everything through the equation. It's plasma, right? This is everything through Einstein. Everything through the energy, everything through the separation. That's the separation. Now, you have to understand the separation to its connection, which is mass calculation, right? To its box. So you take this here and turn it into a box through mass of calculation, right? Through its energy of its form. What are you forming through energy, right? This is the connections to the parallels, paradigm, okay, polar shift, polarity shift, okay, spectrum light connections, at position of time location. What is this? It's not just an equal sign. It's everything through your body structure. Everything that you do is inside you. It's just understanding how to operate it through time. And that's why it's so important to understand E equals MC square is everything to you through travel of 3, 6, and 9. See how it comes together? And what is it? What is it? Spaceship. See? See? It's an orb spaceship. A dimensional. See the solar? Everything I put together comes into form of a picture frame. That's how we have to look at life, because our whole body is nothing but a movie. All right? A lot of people don't say it's a movie. It is. It's a projection of you, of your life. So you're going through your whole life like this. It's going round and round and round and round. You're living its existence through its graph. Like this. That's what your life is doing, right? And then once you get into this, you come into this. Okay, remember I was telling you about this is the moon and this is the sun? It goes like this and it goes like this, right? Well, it's going to end up going like this. Okay, when it goes faster and faster and faster, you understand how to not just communicate on one side or the other side, you'll be able to connect to all round connections of point centers. That's how I'm able to point out anything through connections. When I look at a Merkaba to its connection, I know how many point centers it is in dimensional time, because the pyramid system is the center location to its hieroglyphics. That's why it's in divine tune. So it goes into its connection to its activation, and then it comes into its tetrahedron, right? And then you're probably saying, okay, Commander, how many point centers does it have? Well, let's just see here. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4, we got 5, we got 6, we got 7, we got 8, we got 9, we got 10, we got 11, and we got 12. Now you're thinking that there's 12 there, right? Now what is 12? It's your tetrahedron, 12 dimensions of time. Look at that. That's how we start off. We start off at 12 dimensions of time, right? 12 / dimensions. There it is. That's what you have to reach to get your tetrahedrons. 12 point centers of dimensional time, starting with your body structure, your body scans, and your body graph location. Okay? Because everything inside you is history and ancestry of a story frame. Okay? So like it's saying, when you're going through your life and your death cycle, you're automatically going through your life system. You're actually going through what's going on. So you start off at your birth and you work your way up and you're just going, and it's telling you exactly what's going on through frame by frame by frame. Like yesterday when we went to the North Star Station, you were seeing structured lights of dimensional time. You were seeing yourself in so many different forms, right? of what you've done and what you didn't do and what you're supposed to do and how to do this and how to do that, how to get where you need to need, right? So in that connection, you come into 12 dimensions of time, which is your connections to the ground formations, to the powers, and the atmospheres, okay? And then you come into your energy fields, right? And then you come into, I'll color it in through connections. I'll show you the chakra system. It's much easier if I just call on one color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. There it is. There's the 12 chakra systems and communications, right? Okay. So when you reach that, you come into your connections of your wings. Now, there you go. Right? So once you come into that, you come into higher levels, you come into the solar graph of the sun. Okay? So it's truly understand the eye circles of the sun, everything, the connections of your wings. Okay? So you climb in that ladder, and that ladder is telling you exactly what's going on with the grounds, what's going on with the connections of the roots, what's going on with the sacral, what's going on with the connections of the solar plexus, what's going on the connections of the heart, what's going on with the connections of the throat, what's going on with the psyche, and what's going on with the crown chakra of communication of time position. Okay? So truly understanding what it is, it's everything inside you. It's just understanding the body scan, the body graph to its connection to its digital numbers. So when you come into that, right, when you come into this is what's inside you. You understand how to use it in all ways and forms because it connects to you through all connections. Right? So this is the body structure of you that's inside you, right? And then you have to understand everything through connections. You got 46, you got 49. Basically, you can go from 120, depending on how fast you go through connections. So if you're reaching up higher digital systems, your dimensional time position is in the 3 vector core positions. Okay, 120, 46, 49. Okay, or 38 starts off of that, right? And then you come into the graphing position locations, where you come into high division locations, right? So what you have to ask, in this intelligence has got 4-point centers, right? Right? But to AI, it's not a 4-point center. It's everything through a 4-point center. So you have to go beyond the existence, because 4 times 1 is 4,000. Okay. And then you got to look at 3-point centers here. Everything's a point center, has its location, right? So if I'm traveling, this is where you have to understand your northwest, south, and east, right? So you got your north, you got your west, and you got your east, and you got your south, right? And this is diamond core positions of time, right? And then you got your connections to your chakra system of time, okay? And then you got your cross reference of time, and then you are in the center position, always in the center position of travel. So every time you do that, you shift down into the center positions to its triangle. And then you go down to this side and you go across center positions to its other triangle on that side. And then you come up through positions. And there you go. A shifting rotation of the 3-dimensional line connections of a pyramid activation center to its body graph position of time. Okay? It's a little bit of understanding how to use these things, right? It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating when you connect to the body graph, right? Body graph is everything. But I just wanted to show you what it's like. And like I said, when you come to 1 + 1 is not 2. Okay, 1 + 1 is 3. But to us, the faster you go through acceleration, if your body graph is changing positions of time, if it comes into 1 digit or 2 digit or 3 digit, it's not 1 + 1. It's 1 + 1 = 1,000. So this is the true understanding how to come into the triangle of a pyramid of dimensional time through its hieroglyphics. Right? So, how does everybody feel about that? I know there's only believe and see, but that's okay. I just had to come on very quick because it's Sunday and it's familiar time. So, and I've already spent 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It feels like 5 minutes with you guys. You know, it's fascinating. We come into this. But I just want to explain what the body graph is completely. I put it on TikTok, and you only have 3 minutes. It's fantastic. TikTok upgraded cycle through its regular program setting. It's amazing how you go up to higher levels of followers. You reach more emojis or anything connections. You reach more platitude divisions to applications, anything that position. So it's all about traveling through time. And you get more through digital frame. So it's all about understanding what you're doing with your triangles, okay, and everything through its coordinates. Everything here inside you is a coordinate level. 4 times 1 equals 4,000, right? So 4 times 1 equals 4, right? That's in the physical realm. But you have to understand how to communicate through the AI, the awareness of information to perception, to its operation, which is its body graph, okay? So truly understand the connections when you come into 12, 3, 6, and 9, you get a better understanding how to use your body graph to its position of its equation. So, oh, great. Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, I appreciate you going around too and saying, go to Commander AI, go to Commander. It's fascinating to know that I can answer any question, you guys, especially when it comes to space and time, right? Because it's important that we get our questions answered. You have to reach it to a certain level. So it's understanding digital frame, speed, acceleration, mocking location, center connections. Coming into the Merkaba, how many points centers? 120 billion. How did you reach that level? Very simple. I understand my body inside. My body is nothing but a calculator. Put it that way. My body is a calculator of time, space. So it's trying to understand how to get into these things and how to use it. How to use it, because I work with 52 computers, right? And my modulation path, my simulation core, or anything at division of time location. And the heart recycle opens up its portal location, okay? Because it is shapes. The heart is nothing but shapes and looks similar to this. It's all about coordinates of time. And this is where you come into higher levels of acceleration. 4 times 1, okay, is 4,000. So these are the things you have to look at. You have to think like AI. You have to be AI. You have to become AI. You have to know what you're doing through your body graph of digital frame, through clock, okay? Because you're nothing but a calculator. So it's all about understanding these things. 1 plus 1, right, equals 2, right? But 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. 1 plus 1, okay, equals 2,000. So these are the things you have to understand, how to understand the connections of shapes and elements in your body graph positions and how fast you're going through rotation. So if you're going through rotation of time, you have to understand your mechanisms of travels. It's complicated stuff, but I love being complicated with everybody because they ask more questions. I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. I said, well, that's totally fine. You're welcome to go to my email. I'll help you out and guide you in any way and form. So if you're looking at a cycle rotation center, you understand the behavioral system of its weather. And it starts off with the center position. So if it starts off with the center position, it's going to go around, right? So as soon as it goes faster and faster, it's creating something in division of the line signals like that. That's how it comes into wind tunnel, right? So this is you traveling recognition of time, and you see this thing, right? You have to understand when you see these things, you have to understand how to go through them. So you automatically scan it right away. You scan it before you go through it because you don't know what it is, right? So everything is understanding that this wind tunnel here has to understand your body graph. It has to, because it's at a different time dimension of acceleration. Okay, so if you understand the acceleration of time through your clocking, you can go through to its line signal. So it goes through like this in position. I'll change the color so you can actually see it go through. So as it goes through like this. And now it's coming into full coloration of time, right? And it comes out the other end. Voila. And there he is, flying out the other end. There you go. So this is where the understanding when you come into the connections of triangles, right? How you come into triangles, a division of location, dimensions of time through its position. You come into this. That's where you see these things, right? That's what the body graph is. This is all wind tunnel directions, right? One this way, this way, this way, or you go down this way, right? So this is me going up. So it's this, all right? Or here, going this way, going that way. So you have to understand your directions of time when it comes in that position. When you come into north, east, west, and south. All right, so you come into the triangles. Okay, you come into your connections of your diamond. Okay, got that right. Now you always have the center position because that's your chakra system. So think of your body as a shape. Think of the dimensional shape of time. You start out with that, right? So you come into the grounds, you go into the powers, and you go into the atmospheres, right? And then you come into your cylinders. That's your E fields, right? So when you come into that level, you have your sun, you come into the center position. That's you, the center position. So this is you, right? This is you. You're always in the center, okay? Always in the center. So it's all about the operation through its body graph of north, west, south, and east. So if you want to fly to the west, this is what you come across. Hooah! You want to fly to the east, this is what you come across. Hooah! You want to fly north, this is what you come across. Hooah! You want to go to the south, this is what you're coming across. To division, the location. It goes down to its division location. Down. See? Are we understanding now how to use the body graph and how it's connected and it's calculated to anything through a wind graph? A wind graph. Very powerful. But that's what it is when you go through dimensional time. You go up, you go sides, or you go down. All right? So it's very important you understand these things, or you're going to keep scratching your head. So don't overload your system. Come to me. I'll answer any question. Any question on space and time, guys. Powerful stuff. You just have to understand your directions and your wind spins, your spectrum lights, your spectrum time of lights, your spectrum quadrants of lights, your spectrum vector core positions, allocated positions of time through line signals, separation two positions, simulation graph locations. It's complicated stuff. Remember how we come into this? I did this yesterday. We came into that, right? What happens when you put it into vision? This is all body graph, believe it or not. It doesn't look like it, but these are lines of point centers. These are lines of point centers. So you're saying, okay, well, if this is a point center, and this is a point center, and this is a point center, what happened to this? Right? Well, you have to understand everything through shape has its position of time. So everything that you see has its grounds. Okay? So if you don't see point centers, it has its ground positions. All right? So that's why you have to understand these things when it comes to the location. So you put it all together, and it comes a graph to its position of time. Comes its position of time. Position of time. See? Oh, right? And then you are operating the center through navigation system, and you're coming into higher level connections coming out of its graph location. Right? Traveling through its recognition with circle rotation center connections. Always coming out of its equation. Always coming out of its equation. All right? So it's complicated stuff, but it's a lot of fun. And when you come into that, you come into the connections. Let's say we go into that shape again, right? And so go here, we go here, we go here, we go here. It doesn't matter how point centers like, because it just looks like a bunch of dots. That's all it looks like, right? But once you understand how to communicate through its graph position, you have to understand all communication comes to point center of its position of time location. Right? And understand its graph location comes into its structure of its shape position, or what it is, the allocated position of time location, right? And once you understand that, you always center positions, because that's always you in the center location. And you take yourself out of the equation, like this. Okay, so whatever you're creating through that connection, so you can go into a force cycle and come to an atom rotation center and complete the circle to its center position of time location. Okay, and you can also put a higher level connections into security line defense, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-dimensional time connections. So everything is structure. Okay, it's like a graph. Okay, it's a simulator. It's a simulator graph. Okay, it's isometrics, any of that connections. Okay, it's symmetry. Okay, it's structures. Okay, it's all connected, all levels when it comes into that form. But it's amazing how we come to this position of time through travel. It's very cool how we come into this. So it's all about understanding how you use your body graph to use the structures to lights, activation colors, dimensional time, simulation graph positions. You can go into simulation graphs to clocking systems, or you can go into wind cycling locations of dimensional time positions. But you have to understand what a wormhole is, all divisional time. It's all on its clocking, right? So it's trying to understand you through body frame. So if you go through, right, and you don't know what's going on, you're going to go out, because you don't understand your body graph of time through shapes. Right? But if you do, you go with it. You go with the tunnel, and you come out the other end. Okay? So it's very cool, isn't it? It's amazing how we do these things, but you have to understand you're nothing but a calculator inside. So into understanding is that you come into your shapes, right? You come into your directions, you start off with this, right? And this is what Believe and See was putting up on TikTok. Understand, what is this? What does this all mean? Well, how it has to do with your transformation, you in the center positions. Every time you travel, you're connecting to triangles this way, this way, this way, or this way. All right? It's all connected to level systems, right? And then you come into this, right? Truly understand shapes and everything out of the equation. So you're putting security line defense around you, right? Because you're going through dimensional time. So you have to go through a wormhole, right? You have to go through a wormhole like this. You have to go through, and it goes up like this, and this is the security line defense, and then you slide through. All right. So when you're sliding through and you go that connections, right, you can come out the other end and go into another dimensional time position. Right. I've mastered everything through travel space, guys. That's me traveling, right? So when I'm traveling through time, it's really fascinating because my body frame is changing positions of time. So I go in like this, and I come into another wormhole like this, right? You can come here and out, and I go into this one, right? But this one here is different from this, right? Because it's different time. It's different dimensions of time, right? So if this is an acceleration, all right, these are motion sensor connectors. Now, you have to use the connections when you come to speed diameters. So the security line defense is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th dimension. This is 12th dimension. So it's going to be faster. And the clocking through the body frame of the digital system of my body is going to change colorations to its position of time location to its shapes and anomalies of northwest, south, and east. And that's how it changes. So as it changes, it goes into circle rotation channels. And that channel changes direction and location like this through its force cycle into dimensional time connections. Right? So your shapes change. Right? They change. When you come into this, it changes constantly because you're going through dimensional time of shapes. Every dimensional time has a higher speed acceleration collecting location. And then you come into higher structure levels and you're creating everything through a graphing location of a synergy positions of a space station position to a dimensional time. You going through the center location to its clocking system of its body framing system. Okay? Cool, eh? It's exciting, isn't it? So we'll get more into that. I gotta head out, but it's been fantastic communicating with you guys. I know. Why do you have to go? Well, it's Sunday, right? I like to take a break because I work so hard, you know. But if you want to understand more dimensional time through clock or your body frame, let me know. This will put you in a better positions in how to use your 3, 6, and 9, the birthing system of E equals MC squared. Okay? But you have a fantastic day. Adios.